All we gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top. If you fall, I'll drop my pen. So many stars in the making, thank you, sing. Eyes on the prize, I say passionate. I got the sauce like Diana, vision like Matheson. They say patience is a virtue, so I went around the world and back again. Now NSL be on the map, no more imagining, it's happening.
Welcome to Montreal, Quebec. 20-degree night. It's Wednesday for this historical tournament, the W Canadian Championship quarterfinals. It's the Montreal Roses playing host to Simcoe County Rovers FC, the Ontario Premier League champions. I'm Signa Butler alongside former Canadian Youth International Jess Lisi for today's game, brought to you by BMO. And Stade Boreal is where we're at, and we kind of don't know what to expect. That's what the great thing is about this quarterfinal stage and this tournament as we take you through what it's all about. It's new this year. 8 Canadian clubs, 6 from the Northern Super League, 2 from the Premier Soccer Leagues of Canada. We're in the quarterfinal stages this season. Next season, we'll see the semifinals and finals, eventually getting to the W CONCACAF Championship. Already booking their tickets into next year's semifinals, the Ottawa Rapid and the Calgary Wild. Who gets the edge tonight between the Northern Super League side and the Ontario Premier League champions? Well, Simcoe County Rovers come in as back-to-back Ontario Premier League champions, formerly known as League One Ontario. You may recognize that name. Undefeated this season. Only allowed 11 goals on the season, 54 scored for them, but certainly their defense has been stellar, led by Adrian Devlin.
Yeah, Devlin is described to be somebody that has a strong defensive force, huge leader and captain for them in the back line, and she plays a key role in really keeping them organized back there, Signa. And something that Coach Wilson mentioned to us was that he feels the most influence that they're going to be able to get out of today's match is going to come from that defensive organization. So definitely a key piece.
The starting 11 for the Simcoe County Rovers, and we mentioned that back line. It is strong in the middle. Hannah Chown in particular was pointed out by Coach Zach Wilson, but they're in a 5-4-1. What advantages does that have?
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a lot of numbers and allows you to be compact centrally, but the biggest concern is that you don't want to become too passive. So be compact, but don't get caught too deep. And also look for those transitional moments.
Well, speaking of transitional moments, there's probably a player that this team will be looking to. Somebody who had 9 goals on the season. That's Ashley Campbell. Ashley, as an experienced leader on this side, playing in this historical tournament, how's the vibes within the side today?
The vibes are high. The vibes are always high with the Rovers. We're really excited to be here, but we're also really excited to show what we can do on the pitch. Our club has done very well in preparing us in the best way possible, so we're ready.
This is a big match today, as we mentioned. How do you balance sort of the confidence going in when you're playing against a side like the Roses, who you've probably had a chance to scout out on video?
Yeah, I think as a team, we're great as individuals, but as a team, we're even better. Like I said, our club has done an incredible job of preparing us in the best way possible. We are a semi-pro side, but they've given us the resources to make us feel like we can come into this match and really compete, so we're excited.
Awesome. Thanks for this, Ashley. Good luck tonight. For the Montreal Roses, lots of threats in their lineup. Tanya Boychuk among them, one of the team's co-captains, and Robert Rossatoyer, their manager, saying they need to play with more urgency.
And Tanya Boychuk is exactly that. She's a pure example of urgency. She's somebody that's able to go 1v1, threaten in behind. She has that ability to just continuously be an ongoing threat. And I think with this Montreal Roses side, we've seen them become very comfortable with possession, but at times they haven't progressed up the pitch. So she's going to be somebody that's key to really test the Simcoe back line.
5 goals and 1 assist for Tanya Boychuk this season. A look at their starting 11. It looks a little bit different. Lucy Capadonna not available for personal reasons, so Olivia Mbala starting at center back today. Emeline Pierre-Louis, her first start of the season. Normally we see her a little bit further back, comes into the midfield. And Elise Bennett, of course, with those 8 goals up front. we spoke to co-captain Megan Sauvé about the importance of the tournament ahead of the match. Megan, big stakes tonight, a chance for your team to move on in the W Canadian Championship quarterfinals. What does it mean to have a tournament like this for NSL players?
Yeah, I think for us it's a different kind of competition. You know, there's not a lot of teams in our league, so we get to play a lot of people most of the time. But now it's a different opponent, so for us it's very exciting, and it's a different competition, and it's a ticket to international stage. So for us it's a very exciting opportunity.
How do you prepare for Simcoe County, a team that you may not know much about?
Yeah, I think since we don't know much about them, it's going to be focusing on us and our identity. So it's going to be keeping the ball our side the pitch, and then trying to go forward as much as we can, being more efficient than in the last game we've been on our third and their third. And we know it's a team that's going to come up with a lot of energy, aggressive, so we got to respond to that as well.
Appreciate your time and good luck tonight. Set for kickoff at Stade Boreal. Again, this is quarterfinal action of the W Canadian Championship, the third quarterfinal that we have seen. And Montreal Roses playing host to the Ontario Premier League champions. It's Simcoe County Rovers already on the front foot as Seto tries to deal with that ball. And the first shot on goal will go into the feet of Anna Karpenko. Olivia Mbala, first start. She's been coming off the bench in that center back role. 34-year-old from Toronto. Roses, of course, wearing their multicolored shirts. They're pink and red with the blue shorts, going from left to right on your screen. Simcoe County wearing the navy with gold. Campbell shielding that out of bounds.
Ashley Campbell going to be somebody that you have to keep an eye on tonight. She does have that international experience. She's a player that has done so well throughout her career and is going to help lead this front line today, Signa.
Well, we were told about a couple players with big throws. That led to the first corner kick of the match here. It'll be Tegan Hanley on the corner flag for Simcoe County. First opportunity here. They do have a lot of size in the box. Hanley's delivery, curling in, and look at that header, and look at that start. Unbelievable start for the Simcoe County Rovers.
Oh my goodness, what a start. You couldn't have written it better, Signa.
Well, Robert Rossetoy, who told us ahead of the match they needed to be careful and be confident but humble at the same time. And right off the bat, that was Adrian Devlin climbing on a ladder.
Well, you'll see it again here. I actually believe that might be Rowe that was able to connect with it and find the back of the net.
Well, regardless where we're at right now, it is a 1-0 deficit for the Northern Super League second place team. Bilbao. And foul called on Hanley.
Well, one of the things that Coach Wilson mentioned to us when we chatted with him, Signa, was that if you don't know anything about the Simcoe Rovers and you're watching this match, no matter what the scoreline is, he said you are going to be able to know that these women are going to go out there and they're competitors. They're willing to do whatever to get that result and fight for one another. And that's exactly what we're seeing very early on. Able to find that early goal.
calling his team, and their nickname for basically the last 2 seasons has been Mentality Monsters. So if you look up anything on the Simcoe County Rovers women's side, then that's probably what you're going to see. But undefeated in their regular season through 18 games, 16 wins, 2 draws. Montreal in the attack now. Sauvé will recycle through Mbala in the back. Aladu broken up. Bilbao looking long. Pierre-Louis. Elise Bennett. Tackled, and Seto will come in. Dangerous cross in, and that was juggled in
Just missing
by Spagnolo, but just missed that post.
and just missing the foot of Boychuk. One of the areas too, Signa, that you're really going to see Montreal be able to control and dictate the tempo and test this midfield 4 that we're seeing for Simcoe is where Bilbao and Minas are sitting. They're going to have to make a decision, Simcoe. Are they going to step? Is it only going to be back pressure from Ashley Campbell? What are they going to do? Are they going to leave that space for players like Boychuk and Aladu if they do choose to step? So it's going to be a bit of a juggling match for them. They have to pick their moments, stay compact, or if they're all going to go and what that's going to look like.
So they're battling, getting the ball to Minas, quickly closed down. Bennett drops it back to Boychuk. And the switch to Seto. Amadine Pierre-Louis. Haitian international, trying to thread the pass to Aladu. Instead has a go, and that'll go long.
It's a good idea from Pierre-Louis to try it. Needing to be a bit more sharp in that moment. Can she wrap her foot all the way around that ball, keep it down and on frame?
Look at the starting goalkeeper for Simcoe County Rovers. That's Marilena Spagnolo. Multiple all-star in the OUA with the Brock Badgers. She's going to play her 5th season with the UBC Thunderbirds, and we were told UBC and their coach Jesse Simons had agreed to let her play in this important tournament. So Zach Wilson says, "Thanks, Jesse." Ball slipped through, and Boychuk didn't quite have the pace to get to it. So the goal scorer credited to Tia Schaefer, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan native. Aladu. Tackled out of bounds by Devlin. Bilbao over top has Bennett.
Great ball.
Bennett shielding. Maybe had a little bit more time to hold up. And out to the outlet, Campbell. Nicely laid off. And the long shot from distance. Might as well, you saw Karpenko off your line.
And those transitional moments are something that Coach Wilson mentioned they will be looking for. If they can dispossess Montreal, they know the amount of numbers they get forward, especially with those wingbacks. So being able to read the positioning of the wingbacks and playing off that. So in this case, you have Pierre-Louis and Paczerski who love to get forward. So Young decides to try that from distance.
Aladou. And again, knocked away by Chown this time. Little flick on. Paczerski. Chown clears it again. Still Lisa Paczerski. And cleared away by Tierney. Campbell giving chase. And Mbala sending it back to Karpenko. That opening goal within 5 minutes by Tia Schaefer. Giving Simcoe County Rovers the 1-0 lead. Early corner kick. And could be more here. Ashley Campbell moving forward and getting called for the foul there, but on the former Canadian Youth International, Ashley Campbell.
It's well recovered there from Sauvé.
There's Robert Rosatoyu. Said he'd like to see more urgency from his team, coming off a loss to the Halifax Tides last week. Saying they recently conceding goals in spaces they hadn't in previous parts of the season. And maybe it's a part of, you know, switching your brain off for just a few minutes during a game, but it's the few minutes
Yeah.
where you get caught.
He said that he wants to see that tactical humility really come out today in those moments of recognizing that if you don't pick up the spaces, the important spaces, and take care of those first, then the opponent will hurt you. And that's sort of what happened to them in their recent matches. So they're looking to avoid that today.
Seto playing the ball forward, Bennett. Bumped off the ball by Devlin. Spagnolo. The clearance out of bounds. Quick throw in. Mimi Aladou. Back to Minas. Bilbo the switch. Jen Milligan. Trying to get by Seto, she gets it back.
We know that Montreal's a team that has a lot of success going down the flanks, getting balls into the box.
Spagnolo maybe thinking there was a touch on that, tried to save it, ended up going out for a corner kick. So an opportunity here for the Montreal Roses.
And just to quickly finish my thought, when you're playing against a back five, you know that they're going to have the numbers in the box to pick up your crosses. So it's about really manipulating their shape and being able to get the correct placement into the box, find those runners.
Driven in, Bennett! And headed just wide. Leaves Bennett 8 goals this season, made contact, not on frame.
You see there again, Elise Bennett timing her jump, but just not quite able to redirect towards frame.
There's head coach Zach Wilson. Also just named the head coach of the Brock Badgers for this upcoming year in U Sports. He's been with the Simcoe County organization since 2022. He said this team is a real special one. They've had some changes in some key positions, including at center back. If you're a fan of the Ottawa Rapid, you'll know Caitlin Crichton played there for the Simcoe County Rovers before making the jump to the NSL. And he says he's got players that have filled in seamlessly and so far holding off the Montreal Roses. Campbell coming back in an offside position.
He mentioned he's not the type of coach that really leans into a structure or a system. You typically hear those phrases being thrown around when you ask a coach, how are you going to line up and what does your structure look like and how do you want to play? And he said he's more of a coach that likes to lean into concepts because it gives players freedom to make their own decisions, but he really narrows it down to maybe 2 or 3 decisions on what they should do in certain situations to achieve the goals that they're trying to achieve, versus having them pick from 10 different options into attack. And he said that's something that they've really leaned into and it's created a lot of success for them.
Foul on Mbala, getting over the shoulders of Campbell. Mimi Aladu certainly knows a thing or two about playing internationally. 22 caps for country for Canada. And hoping to lead the Montreal Roses to the semifinal stages where they might have a shot at the CONCACAF Championship. But first things first, this quarterfinal at Stade Boreal. Headed back into the hands of Karpenko. 5 clean sheets on the season for Karpenko, not today. Ball played over top. It's dangerous for Elise Bennett. She took it first time. And Spagnolo on it.
Elise Bennett opting for more of a drive in that moment, but this is a great ball through from Pierre-Louis. You see Elise Bennett do well, times her run, just doesn't quite get over it enough, and based on Spagnolo's positioning, she could have potentially just chipped her there, gotten under the ball and able to get it over top of her head, but opts for power.
Jersky taken down. Seems all right. Key player for the Roses, certainly, Lisa Pachersky. Bilbao's little touch forward doesn't get to its target, and Milligan will turn back. Aladu wanted the foul, and Bennett ends up giving one. Some early frustrations for the Montreal Roses against this team. Simcoe County Rovers come in as maybe the quote-unquote underdog, playing in a semi-professional league, the Ontario Premier League.
Look, I think the reality is if you are the Montreal Roses, you want to be able to control the game and play and impose your style, and that's them being able to dictate the tempo of the game. That's the biggest difference between the pro level and the semi-professional level, the pace at which you have to play and the pace at which you have to think. So can they really take control and grasp this match with their movements off the ball and with the pace at which they're moving?
Tierney breaks up the play, and it's off the crossbar! And whistled down. And I'm sure that was a tasty looking ball there for Jen Milligan to finish off. Let's have another look at this.
Well, you'll see here, just able to win that ball back and strikes from distance, almost beats Karpenko.
Fantastic strike by Tierney. Most valuable player at Nipissing University. Switch and play to Pachersky. Cutting inside. And broken up by the Rovers.
You can see again, it's not going to be that easy. Peczerski's not going to be able to cut inside. That's where the numbers are.
Campbell had the ball up well, but Sauvé sticking with it. Aladou, that's nifty.
You can see Aladou living in that space, that pocket of space, right in front of the back line, in behind the midfield.
And foul against the Montreal Roses. Aladou trying to talk to today's referee, Salma Flores de Rocher. Chown checking in on Riley Trakoff. Campbell, lively beginning for her. Great target up front. And ball played back to Spagnolo.
This is where that ball needs to be moved with more pace. The only way to break down a good defensive unit, and we spoke about this time and time again, Signa, but if you're going to break down an organized side, you have to move the ball with pace to force the defenders to make a decision. Are they going to step? Are they going to shift? What are they going to do? And that's where the gaps come from, and that's where players on the Montreal Roses are able to get into those areas and continue to drive forward. But right now, it's too slow from them. They aren't sharp enough in their decision-making, nor with their passing. See Peczerski drive inside here and just clipped.
So 20 minutes into this match, the visitors leading 1-0. A goal by Tia Schaefer off a corner kick. In the opening 3 minutes of this match, have the Roses in a hole at home. Bilbao. Ball headed by Mbala. Spagnolo, that was one of the things we talked to Coach Zach Wilson about. He said, watch her distribution. She can crank a ball up the pitch.
He definitely said that's something that he feels is going to catch the Roses off guard, and you can see there they adjusted well, but there was a bit of an aspect of surprise.
Cleared away by the Rovers.
Of the Montreal Roses so far. They've had a successful season, they've done well, but one of their downfalls has been that possession without purpose at times and going forward. And you can see here, they have the bulk of the possession. They've controlled this match, but you can see the hunger from Simcoe looking to really disrupt every sort of build-up. And at times, it's actually coming down to a lack of sharpness in Montreal's decision-making, in Montreal's passes.
Accurate there from Mimi Aladou to Pierre-Louis. Deep throw in for the Roses. Campbell coming back for the ball, out for another throw. Simcoe County this year, we talked about it off the top, in 18 games this season, allowed just 11 goals on the season. Very cohesive unit. He says, Zach Wilson says they operate as one brain, and that's the goal every game. We'll operate as one brain, and so far, so good.
He also said they're used to having the ball a lot when they're playing in League One, but that wasn't going to be the case for them today. He knew that, but he said that's where they're going to have to pick their moments and go.
Bennett onside, held the line for Pechersky, and it goes wide. Montreal Roses, a big opportunity, couldn't put it in the back of the net.
But you see what happens when you really do stretch the back line, and that's exactly what happens here. And Pechersky, using her skill, hits it with the outside of her foot instead of going for a simple finish. Needs to be able to find the back of the net there, and we know Lisa Pechersky can certainly do that.
Campbell laying off to Milligan. Moves the ball away to Bilbao. Bennett outside of the foot, and Spagnolo has to come off her line. That was whistled offside.
There is also an aspect of both these teams sort of figuring one another out. And when we spoke to Coach Rosatoyu, you know, he mentioned that he wasn't sure yet how he was going to come out in this match and what their game plan was going to be for the first 15 minutes, because he still needed to sort of brush up and gain more information and watch more footage. Obviously, both these teams playing each other in full form for the first time. So, you know, are you spotting weaknesses with balls in behind? Are you spotting weaknesses with balls in the channel? Is it going 1v1 that's causing issues? They're still finding their footing. It looks like the Roses are testing a little bit of everything. Some of those balls in behind, coming into the channel in half spaces.
Lisa Pechersky going down. Maybe just on the follow through there. Up on her feet. Long throw in into the box. And Boychuk taken down. Those long throw-ins were something Zach Wilson said his team has, and that opening corner kick was led to by one of those long throw-ins. So it's certainly a weapon up their sleeve.
And we've seen throw-ins lead to goals. They're essentially a set piece. Anyone that doesn't agree with that, we can argue. But we've seen a lot of goals come from a throw-in, and especially when you have that sort of arsenal in your back pocket of being able to play a huge throw into the box. It's essentially a free kick.
Sauvé, cross looking for Bennett, and offside.
It's a few times now from the Roses. Can they time their runs better? The recognition of where that last player is. Pull out a little bit further to then attack that space in behind. But it's well done from Simcoe to be able to recognize that and push that line up.
Boychuk. Pechersky.
Frustration on the face of Pechersky.
Having quite the battle over there with Riley Trakoff. Throw as Simcoe County moves their way up the pitch. And that one will fly long. Campbell offside. Ball still rolling. Seto off the shins of Bennett. Bilbo recovers. Simcoe County very compact in their shape. As Rowe sends it up the pitch. Not out of the half. For a throw in.
We've seen between Schaefer, Rowe, and Chown just how aggressive they will be coming out of the back to be able to win those balls. They're not afraid to intercept and go into a battle.
Given away. It's Ashley Campbell. She's got a couple legs up on the side. This shot, no, it goes wide. Ashley Campbell, a prime opportunity to give Simcoe County a 2-0 lead. And the Roses a little sloppy at the back.
Mbala needs to be better here. It's plain and simple. There's no reason that Ashley Campbell should be able to get this ball back and be on a full-blown breakaway. Not able to get that on frame and past Karpenko, but have to be sharper and cleaner. The decision-making needs to be quicker. You've seen Ashley Campbell. She's picking her moments to be able to pounce and attempt to catch this back three. But outside of her, there is no other pressure on the back three, so there's no reason that 1v3 situation should end that way.
Amadine Pierre-Louis drawing the free kick. But some heart palpitations, I'm sure, for the Roses. And Simcoe County Rovers sitting in this compact shape, but finding the outlet. And Ashley Campbell, we mentioned a former Canadian Youth International, is a threat up front. 9 goals this season for Ashley Campbell. Bilbo, nicely played in, but dealt with. Trakoff sending it back to Spagnolo.
Not sure how there's not a foul in there.
The ball a little too heavy for Bennett to handle. So Simcoe County Rovers holding this 1-0 lead. Just over 10 minutes to play in this opening half at Stade Boreal.
Precision continuously letting them down in the final third.
Chersky hustling back to keep that alive. This is the third quarterfinal that we've seen in the W Canadian Championship. The opening one, the Ottawa Rapid and Halifax Tides. 3-2 for the Rapid in extra time. Then it was the Calgary Wild winning 4-0 over CSMRO out of Quebec, semi-pro side. And that should be a
Yeah.
foul there.
There's no denying that.
So Tegan Hanley a little too aggressive on Mimi Aladu. A smile on her face. There is Tegan Hanley out of Bishop's University. Kingsville, Ontario. Bilbao on the ball. Aladu. First time, and its shot is off the mark. That was a clear-cut opportunity, and no one on her.
It was interesting when it comes to marking and setup from Simcoe. They just allowed her to be wide open. I think they thought that they were going to have the ability to get there in time. But Aladu goes for that first time. Left boot. She has much more time than she thinks. Could have taken a touch and positioned herself a little better.
Here's Aladu to Bennett. Bilbao from distance, and that shot's wide. So buzzing a little bit more around the 18-yard box, the Montreal Roses, but the shots have been not on target. Haven't tested Spagnolo yet.
You're seeing what happens when the Roses do find that confidence in a bit of a rhythm to be able to find gaps and really spread the back line and force the midfielders to make a decision if they have to step or if they have to stay. That's where those gaps are opening up, and that's where they're finding more success to be able to strike on frame. But they haven't quite been, as you said, Signa, precise enough or clinical enough when it comes down to it.
Ball over top and not handled there by Milligan, just goes by. I think some of the players at midfield were wondering why the play wasn't stopped, because Chloe Minas went up for a header and looked to have had a little bit of head discomfort. Usually it's blown down right away.
I guess not today.
Minas seems to be all right. Aladu looking for Bennett. That connection starting to heat up.
You can see there that freedom in between the lines right now as you're looking at it. Between the midfield four and that back five, they're more occupied with Bilbao and Minas, which is something I mentioned at the top of the show, having to make that decision. Do you want to step to that double pivot to not allow them to dictate the tempo and really start the attack? Or are you more concerned about a player like Aladu and Boychuk, who are kind of living in between the lines and finding those half spaces, and we're seeing what they've decided to do.
Sauvé into the box. Spagnolo easily collecting that. Another long delivery into Karpenko. Corral it into her box. Simcoe County Rovers, one of the two premier soccer league clubs of Canada, got into this competition. They won the inter-provincial championship last year. 2-0 win over CSMRO of Quebec. And this competition's so exciting. Chance at the W CONCACAF Championship, potentially the FIFA Club World Cup in 2028, the inaugural one for the women. Aladu from distance over top of the bar. So Mimi Aladu, a couple of opportunities at goal, hasn't hit the frame just yet.
And you can see Mimi Aladu doesn't need much time or space. She just needs that one step. The execution just letting her down there, leans back ever so slightly and goes over top of the bar.
Milligan giving chase against Seto. And Valerie Seto, second-year professional. out of Montreal. She actually was part of the CSMRO setup before joining the Halifax Tides last season, and this year with the Montreal Roses, closer to home.
You can see Simcoe doing a good job at really squeezing and compressing that middle, not allowing the back three an easy option to play out and find players. Bilbao and Minas doing everything to try to find some space to occupy.
Ball out for a throw-in. Alidou.
Great turn.
Turning. Bennett. And just short on the pass to Amédine Pierre-Louis, and she might have been home free there. Minas dropping into space. Bilbao. Amédine Pierre-Louis. The darting run in, and in some discomfort is Adrian Devlin, captain of Simcoe County Rovers.
It's a good idea. It's a great ball, but you just see Pierre-Louis coming a little too hard from behind and foul Devlin. But the amount of numbers, and that's one of the strengths of playing in a 5-4-1, and I know I sound repetitive in that aspect, but you have so many numbers in and around the ball. Anytime you go into those flank areas, it's very difficult to isolate the fullback and go 1v1 or create that sort of 2v1 situation, because they're always going to have that support. But Montreal doing a better job at finding those moments and manipulating the shape a little bit.
Sauvé sending the ball in, and Roses retreat back into the midfield. Bilbao, nice outside of the foot pass. That's Peczurski. Cuts it across over the head of Spagnolo and out for a goal kick. When Lisa Peczurski is driving towards the net, good things happen.
And you can see here, she gets that ball over top of Spagnolo, but a bit of an awkward distance. Runners think it's going out of bounds. It also looks like it might have almost ended up in the back of the net. A bit of confusion and not anyone able to get on the end of it.
Looping ball up for Campbell. Foul going against Simcoe County. Called for the foul. Foul on Milligan. Nice tackle there, Abby Rowe. Again, Rowe getting a foot in. As far as Pachurski. Nice little spell of possession given away. Bennett in pursuit, cleared. As we approach the final seconds of this opening half, 1-0 for the visiting Simcoe County Rovers in this W Canadian Championship quarterfinal. Is there something here before the half?
Again, the execution of that final pass, the precision, but you can see what happens when they are able to find Alidou, who's going into those half spaces, or whoever's on the other side, whether it's Boychuk, who we're seeing push a little bit higher forward and adding that extra number to the back line. As we know, Bennett is outnumbered there with 3 against her. But being able to live in that pocket of space that's right in between the back line and the midfield is where I think they're gonna have the most success, being able to get on the ball and then look to stretch that back line and get balls into the box.
Louis. And Selma Flores de Roche blows the whistle on the opening half from Stade Boreal. And there is your goal scorer inside the first 5 minutes, Tia Schaefer off a corner kick. And everything is going right for the Simcoe County Rovers. They may not have the share of possession, but they got the thing that counts.
Well, Coach Wilson mentioned to us, Signa, that we were going to see that these women were competitors, and we're certainly seeing that really early on, able to find the back of the net and then continuing to hold that tempo and disrupting Montreal's play consistently. So it's a great half for them. The defensive organization aspect definitely shone through.
45 minutes left to play in the W Canadian Championship quarterfinal between the Montreal Roses and the Simcoe County Rovers. It's the Rovers on top, 1-0 over the Roses. Halftime, straight ahead.
Okay, team, big game today, but you know what? It's just a game. And you know what? You're gonna go out there and you're gonna have fun, because the most important thing is to have fun, enjoy yourself, and at the end of the day, it's just a game. So go out there and get the win.
Listen up, guys. Why do we play soccer? To win. Doesn't look like you guys want to win right now. Put the work in, work hard, run, fight for each other, and let's go out there and win. Let's go show them how to do it.
Just relax out there, trust in your abilities. Everything's gonna go great. I believe in you.
We just need to get it together. We need to go out there, do your jobs, and let's get this done.
Okay, team, short and sweet. It's a big game. I want you guys to have fun. That's obviously the most important thing. You're doing this because you love it. We want to win, but obviously that comes with being together as a team, playing for yourselves, playing for your teammates, playing for your coaches, your family. Just enjoy the moment, give it your best, be happy with it at the end of the day, and go get them. Let's go.
We are so glad you're here. Kate McKenna, Aaron McLeod with you. We're here to watch the match with you and give you a ton of insight, analysis that you might not get anywhere else, and we're going to have a ton of fun along the way.
Do you treat your young players different than your more senior veteran players?
My pal Kelsey Mitchell, familiar with Alberta weather, multi-sport Olympian. So a question for Aaron. Will you bring the 2002 Mohawk back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Color and everything. Come on, subscribers, let's go.
Make it happen.
People doubt us in Winnipeg, what we're capable of. Like no good players could be from here. Nothing is expected of us, so we fight for everything we get. And we work harder than anyone that thinks it's going to be handed to us. I've spent my life defending home. And now I'm ready to shape its future. My dream for Winnipeg is that we stop asking if we belong on the world stage. And instead, show up and take our place. Introducing NSL Winnipeg. Destroy doubt.
Maya trusts Intact Insurance. So does Margot's favorite cafe. Oh, careful. Bill, too. Bill, you mind?
No. Can you lift her higher?
Sam and Jen trust Intact, too. So does that shipping company. Oh, and whoever owns that skyscraper up there. And to think, that's just one street. Intact Insurance goes the extra mile to protect over 6 million cars, homes, and businesses.
Welcome back to our halftime show presented by BMO. It is the W Canadian Championship quarterfinal, and on top it's Simcoe County Rovers FC thanks to a goal by Tia Schaefer early in that opening half that have the Montreal Roses on the ropes in this historical first tournament. Let's take you through the action, and it got going early off of this corner kick by Handley, and climbing a ladder, Tia Schaefer.
I mean, you couldn't have written a better start for them. That's exactly what you want to start off with, Signa, being able to find the back of the net early and getting on top.
And this is Stephanie Young from distance.
We were told that she is somebody that has a boot on her. She can strike from distance and she's got power. And Ashley Campbell as well. We know she has the pace, but isn't quite able to be clinical here and find the back of the net past Karpenko.
Could have been 2-0 at that stage of the match, and Simcoe County may be hoping they could have padded the lead there. Montreal, though, a real share of possession. They have had created some chances, but getting it on target has been difficult.
But also the precision of their passing leading up to it. A lot of the times they're allowing Simcoe to easily disrupt their build-up. They need to be sharper, they need to be cleaner, and you can see what happens when they do put that great delivery in. Here, Elise Bennett, can she see that Spaniolo's just slightly out of position? Can she chip her there? Just get under the ball. Instead, she opts to strike it. And Lisa Paczerski on this opportunity, it's not about being fancy and hitting it with the outside of your foot. She just needs to be able to place this in the corner. And we know Lisa Paczerski can do it. We've seen her score goals, but absolutely needs to be cleaner from this Roses side if they want to walk away with a win.
And Mimi Aladou, she can shoot from anywhere. Wasn't on frame, but that was another opportunity that the Roses wish they could have had back in that opening half. Again, the possession stats, well, it's firmly in the favor of the Montreal Roses, but the shots on target are leading the way of the Ontario Premier League champion, Simcoe County.
Well, possession without purpose is quite pointless. So that's sort of what we're seeing in this first half. Can the Roses be better? And you're seeing that with 8 shots, only 1 on target. They're a team that has a lot more capabilities than that. But so far, Simcoe Rovers, their defensive organization has really done well and has shown well for them to be able to also look for those transitional moments and threaten.
Well, we have more of our halftime show at the W Canadian Championship quarterfinal. It's the Montreal Roses 0, Simcoe County Rovers 1.
I think since we have a team that's half Quebecers, I think when we play in Stade Boréal and I feel the chants in France and I see all these people, I think it's just inspiring. I really like it. Just being born and raised, I look at the other girls on my team who are born and raised in Quebec as well, and I think we just feel like we have to do more for the logo. Montreal is a city of sports. The people who come are really passionate. Like when they come to a game, yes, they come, but they chant, they bring energy into the stadium. So I think that's the major difference. But I think just French Quebecers or something else, yeah.
Having her in a leadership role, I think is a great decision from the coaching staff and the Roses because she inspires and she also knows how to lead a team. we were on the plane coming here, and right next to me, I opened my book and I'm reading. She opens her book. She's reading the captain class. So she's already like learning so much about how to be better. And in my eyes, I think she's already great. So I think she is a special human, and Montreal's so lucky to have her.
I was reading this book about leadership where you see the best leaders in the world, what do they do in common, and I try to implement that into my role as a leader. But also I'm a teacher by formation, so I try to do it in a really positive way where my teammates, the young ones, they can learn from me.
She's someone that makes anyone in the room feel comfortable. So if there's a little thing going on, I feel so comfortable telling Meg about it, whether it's like something, a highlight, a low light, anything. So she makes someone feel so special. So again, I have nothing but great things to say about Megan Sauvé, and I feel very lucky to be her teammate.
At the end of the day, like my mark in a few years when I look back and I'm not playing soccer, I want them to see me as somebody who helped them get better. Learning every year, seeing like the Marie-Philippe Poulin of this world, how they lead, Cindy Crosby, like it's all people I look up to and I try to be better at.
Welcome back to Montreal, the W Canadian Championship quarterfinal, and the Montreal Roses trailing 1-0 to Simcoe County Rovers. We've got a cute little feature, if I can say so myself. Jess Lisi asking NSL champion Samantha Chang to build her perfect NSL player.
Hey everyone, Jess Lisi here alongside the wonderful and very talented AFC Toronto midfielder and NSL champion Samantha Chang. Sam, so happy that you're here. And we're gonna have a little fun today with Sam. She's gonna build her perfect NSL player, which is a tough task. You ready to have some fun, Sam?
Let's do it.
All right, so when it comes to right foot, who are you choosing?
So for this one, I did consider saying myself, but you know, I'm humble. So I am gonna go the next best option, and I'm gonna say DB.
I mean, that's a great next option, right?
Exactly. Second, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, left foot, Sam.
This one right off the bat, I think I'm going to go Esther. I mean, we've seen the free kick goals, we've seen the finishing, top two goal scorers there last year for a reason.
Wicked left foot. Exactly. And also, yeah, as you said, 100 goals between the two of them, right? So who doesn't want those two?
Exactly.
What about heading ability?
Heading, I would have to say I saw her up close last year. I saw just the presence that she, you know, has in the box, and I'm going to go Jess DiFilippo.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. Yeah. Beast in the air. Not somebody you want to contest the ball against.
No, nightmare to man mark, that's for sure.
So far, Sam, these are the same three people I would have chosen, just so you know. Not that that means anything, but what about IQ?
IQ, I would also have to go with someone I saw up close and personal last year, but I'd have to go Quinny, honestly. I mean, makes sense. Multiple-time Olympian, multiple-time World Cup player for a reason.
Yeah, brilliant mind, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Speed. This is a hard one. There's a lot of speedy players.
Yeah, there is a lot, you know, come to mind Lisa, Latifa, seeing them both last year too, but I am going to have to go with more recent and say Lauren Rowe with Toronto.
I mean, does she got like some jets in her shoes? I've never seen someone run that fast.
I think she might be hiding them somewhere.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what about strength?
Strength's a tough one. This league is pretty physical, obviously. There's a lot of players that is one of their biggest strengths, but I would have to go Jess DiFilippo again for strength.
Look at that
would.
Shout out Jess.
Just the way that she's able to lose man markers, a lot of it has to do with her strength and the way that she can hold up the ball.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Tackling ability.
So this one, I'm going to go with the throwback from last year, but I'm going to say Desi. You know, destroyer.
Yeah, destroyer for a reason. Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's a great choice. Shout out Desi Scott because, absolute legend of the game. And then this is my favorite, okay, because I think that there's a lot of players in this league that have great aura, so I'm really curious to hear who you're going to say.
Yeah, there are a lot, and I think, you know, game day pictures and outfits help that too, but I'm going to go with my good personal friend, JY from Ottawa.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, she's just the best. She is the best, really close personal friend, as I said.
I mean, with a name like JY, you just have automatic aura. That's a fantastic, and you can see there. I mean,
yeah, on and off the field, she's just the person you want to have in your corner. She's got a huge personality. She's so funny. She's so loyal. And I think in those clips you see just her personality come out. She's got an inside joke with everybody, and just the way she plays on the field, she's so fearless. And you really see that come out in the way she tackles, the way she blocks shots. Everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Sam, thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to talk alongside you. And as you guys can see, this is Sam's perfect NSL player. See you soon.
have some Samantha Chang aura. That's what I
Yes.
would love to have. You know what? We're going to see what happens in the next 45 minutes at the W Canadian Championship quarterfinal. The Roses trailing Simcoe County Rovers 1-0.
Welcome on board our new Triangle Rewards and WestJet Rewards partnership.
Prior to earning, ensure your accounts are securely linked. In the event you shop or fly with us, earn Canadian Tire money and WestJet points on all eligible purchases. Breathe normally and secure your own rewards before assisting others. Take a moment to locate where you can spend once and earn twice. Link today and watch your rewards take off.
For the big, small, short, tall. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For refreshing moments. Shared together.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO.
Welcome back to Stade Montréal for the W Canadian Championship quarterfinal. A couple of substitutions for you, if I can get that out. Coming into the match, Haley Whitaker for the Montreal Roses, and this will be Elise Bell for the Simcoe County Rovers. And a little change in formation as well at the back. And Valerie Seto taking the center back position from Olivia Mbala, who is the substituted player. And Haley Whitaker lining into the right back position. Already under pressure is Haley Whitaker. And Tegan Hanley setting that out of bounds.
Elise Bell, one of the players that was mentioned to us to really keep an eye on, that she's somebody that's energetic and quick, and somebody that Coach Wilson feels deserves a look when heading into this match from an NSL side.
And a collision, heavy one over on the right side. And Tanya Boychuk taking the worst of that. There is Elise Bell, the 21-year-old from Toronto. 2025 played for the North Toronto Nitros, was Defender of the Year and Young Player of the Year in 2025. Been playing at the University of Guelph with the Griffins. Robert Rossatoyu looking on. Some concern there with Tanya Boychuk down. Let's take another look.
Looks like she might have just got Bell's head,
shoulder,
head. Something really made contact with Boychuk's face. It looks like her nose specifically.
So the Montreal Roses co-captain Tanya Boychuk getting some medical attention on the field. 5 goals, 1 assist for Tanya Boychuk this season. The important player for the Roses offensively, but with the leadership as well, a Ukraine international.
See some strategy talk between Bennett and Nalidu.
Well, you've had a chance to see this team, you know, for Simcoe County Rovers. Montreal Roses haven't been able to see too much of them. Obviously, there's a little bit of film out there, but you know, now you've seen them. You've seen their setup, how their shape is, and the threats are, and the tempo in which they play. So how do you break down this team that's been solid at the back?
Well, as I mentioned in the first half, it's going to come down to, one, being sharper with the decision-making, but also being able to move the ball with pace. Also, Tanya Boychuk looking to have a bit of a bloody nose there, but outside of that, looks back to her feet and all right. But just to continue that, Sigs, it's very much about recognizing where the space is, and we were seeing early on that gap between the back line and the midfield line is where there was a bit of space that needed to be occupied. You had Mimi Alidou moving in and out of those half spaces, trying to find gaps, and that's exactly what she's going to have to be able to do. But if they move the ball quicker, it's going to force people out of position, and it's going to create gaps. And that's the only way you're going to be able to really break them down, because we know that they're going to be as compact as possible, specifically in the middle of the park there. It's also going to be, you know, being able to create those 2v1 opportunities out on the flanks, having players like Alidou go out there, or Boychuk, or whoever is in that attacking mid-roll, and being able to create overloads to get balls into the box.
That is the substitute, Bell, battling with Haley Whitaker, who does well to get that ball back.
You know, Haley Whitaker is always somebody that's up for a nice feisty battle. And based on what we know about Bell, is she is quick, and she is not afraid to run at you with that pace. So Haley Whitaker might have her hands full.
Seto taking her turn at center back. As we mentioned off the top of the game, Lucy Capadonna unavailable for personal reasons. So a player that's played almost virtually every minute for the Montreal Roses this season. Important player in their back line. Big responsibility for Seto today. Here Louis, first time. Bennett cutting it back. And Hannah Chown gets that out of trouble.
The beauty of having that back five, you're always going to have that three to really help you defend those crosses. And the Roses obviously not having enough people in the box on that run. Elise Bennett making a great run, gets that cut back in, and it's not that it's a bad ball, it's just that there aren't any runners in there yet, and there is certainly defenders that are ready and waiting.
Pechersky, little shimmy shake with the shoulders. And taken away by Abby Rowe.
And Coach Wilson told us, Signa, they were prepping for the Elise Bennetts. They were prepping for the Lisa Pecherskis. This is footage that they watched over and over again, and they combed through it to really look at the strengths of this Montreal Roses side and defend against them. So you're seeing it. They're not allowing Lisa Pechersky to do anything to be able to get on the ball and have some time to really go at people and take them on 1v1, because that's where she thrives. Her ability to run at you with pace and pull out those trickster-type moves that are very difficult to stay with.
But it's a very defensively responsible team, Simcoe County Rovers. We have already mentioned just allowing 11 goals in 18 games in an undefeated season, winning the Ontario Premier League. If you're just joining us, ball played through. It's Mimi Alidou. Alidou, the shot, stopped by Spagnolo. And Devlin will guide that up the pitch.
Whitaker with a nice little slip ball through, and Alidou gets there first and strikes this with enough power that Spagnolo's not able to hold on to it. But Simcoe collecting that rebound.
Pechersky, one time. That'll be a handball. Just off the hands of Abby Rowe, with a hand. So a corner kick-like situation here for the Montreal Roses. organizing her box.
Big opportunity here for the Roses.
Aladou on the ball. Back post over the head of Bennett. Bilbao and Bennett colliding. And it's Simcoe County coming out the other way. Elise Bell, head up. Young, look at that little shifty move over top, and Karpenko's on it anyway, but a little look at Young's skill. Chersky getting a lot of action in this opening half.
Young doing the defensive work, not allowing Pechersky much time at all.
Again, long throw in, giving the Roses trouble. Ashley Campbell, the cross in. Anybody at the back of it? Bell's there. Earns a throw in.
A big throw coming.
Slipped on that one, tough challenge. A foul called on Bell. Wilson must be pleased with how his team's playing. It may be no surprise to him that his team is ahead. He calls them mentality monsters. They might come in as a semi-pro team, but make no bones about it, they have every intention of contending for this quarterfinal, and they certainly are. The early goal from Tia Schaefer off a corner kick, the lone goal in this match. Ontario Premier League champions in this inaugural tournament, looking to play upset on this Northern Super League side, the Montreal Roses. Sauvé cutting inside. Bilbao. Pierre-Louis. And a little too much on the shoulder for the liking of Salma Flores de Rocher.
Offside.
Bennett, the touch header to Aladou, couldn't thread the pass. And out come the Rovers. Traykoff looking up the pitch. Whitaker, signals crossed.
Bennett just needing to glance over her shoulder there and recognize that the back line has dropped off of her. Schaefer wasn't touch tight. She was able to turn there and face forward and run at this back line. Defensive effort there from Bell.
Devlin turning. As Bell tackled by Pierre-Louis. Bilbao. Alidou closed down quickly. Bell helping out again. Seto taking her turn going forward. Whitaker, the cross in, headed away. Bilbao, shot stopped bravely by Tierney. And again, it's Simcoe County coming out the other way.
It's going to be very difficult to try to thread passes through from that distance. And with such a compact defensive unit that we're seeing from the Simcoe Rovers.
Whitaker again looking over top. Spagnuolo, no problem there.
Some good recognition there to play that ball over top, just off the head of Boychuk, a little too far ahead of her.
Bilbao looking over top, can't beat Rowe. Pachurski. Sauvé thought about the overlap. Pachurski cutting inside. And that's cleared away by Simcoe County right out to Campbell, who offside position. A couple substitutions coming. Ashley Campbell coming out of the game. And coming into the game, this will be Olivia Brown. Ashley Campbell, nice outing for her. Had that opportunity to make it 2-0 in the first half, but certainly was an outlet, putting in a shift for Simcoe County up front. The lone striker.
Again, just seeing the amount of navy and gold shirts in there. It's going to be very difficult. They have to spread them out to then go back inside.
Brown, had Stephanie Young streaking down that right side.
Thank goodness for Mina's positioning and recovery run.
Pachurski gets by, but the turf tripped her up. Pierre-Louis. Haley Whitaker. Back to Bilbao. Alidou creating space for herself. Bilbao over top, looking for Alidou, blocked. And the foul will go against Alidou. Aberdeen Pierre-Louis' day is done, and Laurie Thibault into the match. From Blainville, Quebec. National champion with the Montreal Carabin of youth sports. Tierney broken up by Bilbao, and that'll be a foul on Young. Yellow card for Stephanie Young.
We're seeing that willingness from the Simcoe Rovers. Every single time Montreal's able to get on the ball, that support is coming, and they're coming at full speed ahead.
Bilbao from distance here. See if there's anything on this set piece for the Roses. Chipped over top, headed away. To Pachurski, laying it off for Minas. Timely tackle there by Rowe. Trakoff as far as Seto. First touches here. And Thibault over top, headed away by Rowe. Tierney's touch. First one wasn't great. Second one clears it out of bounds for a throw-in. Stephanie Young taking a seat for Simcoe County, and into the game, Violet Hipkin, number 7, out of Peterborough, Ontario. Hipkin, longtime player with Guelph United. Alidou tried to thread the pass, and it's broken up by this stalwart defensive 5. I was going to call them foursome, but a defensive 5.
There just has to be better recognition that that's not where the space is. They have to be able to go out, they have to go around to come back in and then threaten with those balls into the box. But right now, they're being forceful through the middle and just essentially giving the ball right back to the Rovers, despite winning the second ball and being able to start possession once again. It's sort of the same story every single play. They're not going to be able to thread it through to Elise Bennett with 5 defenders on her back, and that 4 in the midfield dropping really low.
Pachurski to Alidou. And that'll be a dangerous free kick opportunity for the Montreal Roses. Zalk Wilson doesn't like it. We'll take another look.
Nice little combination there. And you see Pachurski just react to a bit of a late contact. Not quite sure there's much in that. But nonetheless, the Roses will take it. And this is a big opportunity, dangerous area, Signa.
Charlotte Bilbao, the former French international, on the ball. Trying to curl it in, it goes over top. So a big opportunity for the Roses to equalize, and Bilbao sends it over the bar.
You see Bilbao just aim to go for a bit of finesse there and curl it near post, but leans back, doesn't quite follow through, and ends up hitting it over top of the bar.
Thibault looking for targets. Bilbao gets it to Alidou. The cross, Boychuk! Offside, but heads it over top anyway. Better from the Roses. but not quite there.
You're seeing what happens when the Roses really do come alive and look to thrive in the moments that they're good at, and that's with that 1-2 touch play. It forces the Rovers that have to react in that moment. They have to step. They're trying to stay with it. Boychuk not able to stay on side.
Hipkin. Violet Hipkin. Left foot gets it across to Olivia Brown, and she'll be offside.
It's a little overeager there from Brown.
Brown, new to the team from Guelph United. Co-Golden Boot winner with 10 goals on the season. Aladou. You can hear Boychuk's frustration, just a little bit too much on that header. Just over 20 minutes to play in this W Canadian Championship quarterfinal. As Robert Rossatoyu's side trailing 1-0 to the Ontario Premier League champions, Simcoe County Rovers.
I mean, it truly is best case scenario for the Rovers, where you score early and then you lean into what it is that you're great at, which is that defensive organization. It's easy to frustrate teams when you are sitting in this shape and they're forced to break you down and chase the game while doing that. So I definitely think, again, Sigs, you couldn't have written this out better for the Rovers.
Cross in the box. Rowe heads that away, out for a throw-in. Sauvé. Off Trakoff. Boychuk. Just off her shins, and Seto had to deal with that. Bennett off to Aladou, wide to Whitaker. Whitaker's cross headed away. Bilbao one time. Montreal keeping possession. By the way, if this does end up tied after regulation, it does go into extra time, followed by penalty kicks. Sauvé laying the ball into Paczerski. One time across. Hanley got a foot on that, a timely one too. Whitaker. Rowe heads it away.
Rose is looking to collect that second ball.
And Trakoff down in the box. Heavy foul there by Hipkin. With a Simcoe County Rovers player down in the box.
See Paczerski just absolutely clobbered from behind and late by Hipkin. You could see her frustration immediately. It's sort of been the storyline for her of this matchup. Every time she's able to get on the ball, she's fouled shortly after her first touch.
Aladou on the ball here. Inside 20 minutes, trailing by a goal, and the delivery was not on from the Canadian international. Spagnuolo happy to collect that one.
No threat in that at all. Straight into the hands of Spagnuolo. Doesn't test her. And runner's not quite able to even contest the delivery.
Boychuk battling against Rowe and out for a throw-in. Minas. Cross headed away. Sauvé with the overlap, the cross in. Seto from distance. And over top.
A bit audacious. Looks to strike from distance. She has the power behind it, and we know that she is a player that has precision and accuracy. But there are better options in that moment, Signa, to be able to create something a little bit more dangerous and threatening.
Bilbao feeding to Bennett. Again, dealt with by the Rovers. Lands in the box, Paczurski! Can't get a handle on it, out for a corner kick.
Bilbao really playing creator there. Gets this ball over top, and Paczurski gets that touch off. But you can see right away, Trakoff is right there.
Ball taken. Headed away, Thibault! Spagnolo spills it! And it's in! But a flag is up. Montreal Roses fans thought they had a goal here. Perfect delivery from Alidou.
You can see here, Thibault is able to get that first ball back in, but Boychuk just slightly offside.
Bilbao engineering that switch to Whitaker. Bit of a telegraph, and here comes the Rovers. Anna Chown taking a little movement forward. Anna Chown has been very solid back there, the Mississauga, Ontario native. First team All-Canadian with the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. Thibault, turning Bell. Bennett shielding by the goal scorer, Schaefer. Tanya Boychuk leaving the match. Claire Monyard coming in. Claire Monyard, a year ago, making the Roses out of an ID camp that they had, and it's been a fixture coming off the bench for them. Came from League One Ontario, or as it's known now, Ontario Premier League. So lots of different pathways to get into the Northern Super League, and perhaps some of these players getting ID'd today from Simcoe County Rovers. Ball just bounced off the foot of Alidou. 15 minutes left to play at Stade Boreal. The Montreal Roses in trouble in this W Canadian Championship quarterfinal.
The cohesion in attack today for the Roses just not quite coming together. The final piece of the puzzle, whether that's the pass or the strike and intent on frame.
Paczurski. First touch wasn't there, allowed Trakoff back into the play. Thibault charging forward. Monyard made her run early.
left to clean up again, but gives it right back to Brown.
Hipkin sends that ball long, deep throw in for the Roses. And Zach Wilson's like, let's press now, let's press.
We've seen majority of the match be played in Simcoe's half, but they've done so well to disrupt play and really not allow the Roses to create anything too threatening or dangerous. And now as the clock winds down, they're gonna wanna waste some time.
Alidou, little touch over top, looking for Monyard. Cleared away by Schaefer. Whitaker going to the left foot. Alidou. Both players down the box and one player in a severe discomfort. And I believe that's Hannah Chown down there holding her leg. Medical staff called in.
You can see the confusion on Alidou's face. She's not quite sure what happened. It looks like she stepped on Chown's ankle as she was losing her footing and tried to get up.
Zach Wilson getting players ready in the wings in case Hannah Chown can't continue. Hannah Chown, an important player, obviously anchoring this back line for Simcoe County Rovers. Mentioned an All-Canadian at the University of Toronto, the Varsity Blues, and won a Community Service Award from the OUA, which is the Ontario Universities Athletic Association. Let's take you back to how Simcoe County Rovers got the lead. It happened in the very opening minutes of this game off of this corner kick.
It's delivered well, and then Schaefer is up for the challenge. You see a bunch of the Simcoe County players just getting up for that ball, but Schaefer ultimately being the one to redirect that into the back of the net, and that's exactly the start they needed, Signa. Now they're able to lean on that strength of their defensive organization and continue from here and waste some time.
Given up just 11 goals in 18 games this season. Hannah Chown obviously in distress over in the penalty area. Tia Schaefer. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan native has the goal in this game. And Chown hobbling off. And whether she'll be able to continue. We'll have to see. Certainly they want to keep her in the game if they can. Bennett. And Hipkin clears it. You know, this is the time, you know, when a player gets injured, especially a key player like that, how do you respond? And we'll see what Simcoe County Rovers can do here. Out for a corner kick for the Montreal Roses.
Montreal not being threatening enough so far today on their set pieces, so can they do better here?
Alidou. Headed up, but not away. Alidou pops it back in the box. Right to Paczurski. And heading out for a throw-in. Simcoe County Rovers have had the bulk of a lot of the same players for the course of the last two seasons, both times Ontario Premier League champions. One player not here is Ali Rowe, a leading goal scorer, signed a contract in Iceland, a former star with Cape Breton University. But this defensive prowess that they've shown. Another ball thrown into the play. Ball played in the box, and Spagnuolo off her line again. And it looks like Hannah Chown will not be able to continue, so we'll see a substitution come into the match momentarily. And we were told Hannah Chown was coming out of the game, but she's staying in the match. So that is good news for Simcoe County. Jade Kovacevic, former AFC Toronto forward, an assistant coach with Simcoe County in the foreground there, if you recognize Jade's face. Just over 5 minutes to play, and Simcoe County Rovers on the verge of an upset in the W Canadian Championship quarterfinals. An early goal, and the Montreal Roses have had no answer for this fortress that the Rovers have put up in their back.
You're just seeing Montreal be a little wasteful in the attacking half with their decision making, forcing balls down the middle. And also letting themselves down with the precision and accuracy in their passing.
Chersky laid the ball through, got a little bit of a knock there. Traveling Simcoe County Rovers fans making their voices known here. And a Karpenko forced to sweep that away. Alidou. Sauvé. Tried to cut it back and got caught up in the turf. Karpenko, long looping ball over top. Brown, closed down. Trying to send Hipkin on her way. And for a Montreal throw. Sabrina Basante getting ready in the wings. High boot there.
Say a bit dangerous there.
Coach Zach Wilson. Must be pleased with this performance so far. but probably not surprised. He said his team was coming to play today. They're mentality monsters. They're ready for the challenge. They're such a unit, and they've played like one today, that's for certain. Monyard. Paczurski, but that'll be out of bounds. Just a few minutes left at Stade Boreal.
Sylvain and Brown just get caught up.
Thibault charging forward. Looking for a through ball. Chown reads that. Has a look around. And smartly just playing it down to the corner, wasting time.
And that's what we're going to expect in these final moments. That's what any team would do, especially when you are trying to walk away with the win.
Time is not on the side of the Montreal Roses right now. And on paper, a semi-pro team. Simcoe County Rovers coming into Stade Boreal. An early goal, protecting it. But there's still a little time left here for the Roses. Whitaker shaking, gets the cross in, headed down, not away. Schaefer gets it as far as Thibault. And Hanley clears that away.
Dreykov having quite a day as well, really handling Lisa Paczurski well, frustrating her.
Monyard. Aladou and Bilbo couldn't get things going. There is 6 minutes of added time. Paczurski out for a corner kick.
The Roses needing to take advantage of this, Signa. Big opportunity for them.
Aladou on the corner. Spagnolo got a foot on it. Paczurski over top. Couldn't get around on it. Well, Riley Trakoff, who's had a great game, the Guyanese international coming out and into the game. That's Sabrina Basante. Trakoff tasked with defending against one of the NSL's top attackers, and Lisa Paczurski caused all kinds of trouble for her today. Foul called on Hipkin. Barnyard gets to the loose ball.
Pass to deal with there for Monyard.
Bilbo, everyone closing her down. Ball into the box, headed away by Rowe. Paczurski now. Looking to overlap. Handball. Another free kick. Roses will take their time with this. Bilbo this time on the ball.
The delivery has so far let them down. So can they put the delivery in, then also execute that final action?
Added time, looking for a goal. The header off the mark. Seto keeping it alive. Thibault, the shot blocked. Simcoe County able to get it as far as Lisa Paczurski. Looping ball in the box, determined header away. Bodies on the line, Bilbao couldn't get around on it. Mad defending by Simcoe County. And the Roses, with 3 minutes to play and added time, just cannot buy a goal. Can't find the frame either.
You see Alidu coming in, but Hanley's right there. And Bilbao just not clinical enough in that moment. Doesn't even get that near goal.
Through ball will go all the way out of the touchline. Out for a goal kick. Time running out for the Roses in the W Canadian Championship. Carolina Spagnolo keeps that out of bounds. Wide to Sauvé, across in, headed away by Rowe, and out of bounds. Zach Wilson, yeah, you know he's checking the time.
Rowe, also a player that has been tremendous today for them in that back line.
We mentioned the trio of center backs and how great they've been all season long, allowing just 11 goals in 18 games, and that statistic will stay in this game if the score stays the same. Just about a minute of added time left at Stade Boreal. Yellow card. Delay of game on Basante. Minas getting it up the pitch, knowing time is of the essence here. The Roses need to push, need to get it forward. Whitaker. Whitaker. And the foul called against the Roses.
Might be the final play of the game for the Roses. Last chance.
There's the goal scorer, Tia Schaefer, being helped to her feet. It was all business for the Simcoe County Rovers, and they are moving on to the W Canadian Championships semifinals. A stalwart defensive performance from the Mentality Monsters and the Ontario Premier League champions upset the Northern Super League side Montreal Roses at home 1-0.
It's a well-deserved win. I thought that they came out with the right mentality from that first moment, and as you said, Coach Wilson calls them mentality monsters for a reason. And you can see the disbelief in their face because they know the quality that the Roses have, but this was not a good showing for the Roses on any front. They were a bit wasteful in attack. They were forcing down the center, which is exactly where Simcoe had numbers, and ultimately their attacking organization is exactly what led to this win. They scored early and they were able to shut down any chance the Roses had to be able to equalize this match. It's a frustrating one for the Roses.
Simcoe County Rovers undefeated on the season, and it continues in this historic tournament, the W Canadian championship, and you can see what it means to this team. Emotions, I'm sure euphoria and real disappointment on the side of the Montreal Roses.
And you can see it. You can see it in all of their faces. They know it wasn't good enough, and you could see the frustration as the game went on as well. But again, it just wasn't good enough today, Signa.
Well, let's take a look at that early goal from Simcoe County Rovers. The only goal they would need in this game. It came off a corner kick from Handley, and just a perfect finish from Tia Schaefer.
And Schaefer does well to free herself up as well and find that space, times her jump, and then finds the back of the net with a well-executed header.
Final statistics, I mean, if you were to look at just the top number, 78%, almost 80% possession for the Montreal Roses. 21 shots, but only 3 of them on target. And it was a difficult one for them.
It certainly was. It was a difficult one, and it's one that they're gonna kick themselves when they watch it back.
And full credit to the Simcoe County Rovers FC. We knew about their defensive prowess, and we saw it on full display today. They are moving on to the W Canadian Championship semifinals. Just one more quarterfinal left to be played, and that is AFC Toronto and Vancouver coming up later in October. Well, there is celebrations all around for the Simcoe County Rovers. The Ontario Premier League side coming in and pulling off an upset against the Northern Super League team. Vibes are high, and they collect that victory. It's going to be a nice trip home for them. Well, thanks for watching us today on our broadcast. On behalf of Jess Lisi and myself, Signa Butler, and our entire crew here, thanks for watching the W Canadian Championship quarterfinals, and congratulations to Simcoe County.